All right, find the circumcenter of the triangle. The circumcenter is where the perpendicular bisectors all meet. So since it's a bisector,
Is it normally at the hypotenuse?
yeah, since it's a right triangle, it will be at the hypotenuse.
What if it was isosceles? Would it be at one of the bases, or it could?
And I saw, well, if it's an acute triangle, it'll be on the inside. If it's an obtuse, it'll be on the outside.
Wait, yeah.
So if we look at these midpoints, we'll have one here, and then the other one's going to be at right here. So as we go perpendicular from those points,
Could you also just do an equation?
you can, but since this is multiple choice, you can just kind of see that this is going to be at -1, and it's going to be at +1/2.
Okay, -1 positive.
Yeah, so x is -1.
Yeah, I thought so.
Right. But yeah, we have the midpoint formula we can do as well.
Okay.
In that case, we would be looking for the midpoint between these 2 points. So it would be -3 plus 1 divided by 2, and then 3 plus -2 divided by 2, which would be -1, 1/2. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, drag and match the point of concurrency. So basically, this is just a vocab refresh of understanding what these mean. We just did the perpendicular bisectors, and those are the circumcenter.
Angle bisectors, in center, altitude is ortho, and centroid is median.
Yeah, altitudes is orthocenter. Angle bisectors is in center, and then medians is centroid.
Nothing much to talk about there.
Nope. Okay, next one, find the circumcenter. So we don't give you a triangle, but you can get an idea of what that triangle would look like by just plotting these points. So if we said this is 4, 4, so that's point F, I'm sorry, E. F is going to be at the same X value, but it's going to be below at 2. And then G is going to be at the same Y value, but it's going to be over here at 8.
Yeah.
So we can get an idea of what that right triangle again looks like. So we're just trying to find the midpoint between E and G. And you can count that if you want. Since we're not on a gridded coordinate, I'm just going to go ahead and use the formula, which is going to be 4 plus 8 divided by 2.
3.
And then we have 4 plus 2 divided by 2. So that's 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And then 6 divided by 2, which is 3. All right, next one. What is the orthocenter of the triangle with two altitudes given at those two equations?
Will it just be where those two altitudes met?
Yep. So
Negative.
it's gonna be right here where these two altitudes are crossing. We don't care about the third altitude because we know if these two are going to intersect here,
Third one would.
so then the third one would as well.
But
So
just negative. No, really, no, like spelling needs to be done here.
yeah, so those equations really were pointless to us unless you wanted to solve them as a system of equations, which you don't have to because you have a graph. All right, list the angles and sides in order from smallest to largest. So the smaller angle is going to be across from the smaller side. So smallest side, smallest angle. That's the middle side. So this is going to be the middle angle. Largest side, largest angle. Just make sure you understand that it is saying smallest to largest. So the smallest we're looking for is G. So that gets rid of these two. And the largest we're looking for is F.
So that gets rid of the last one. That gets rid of B.
Yeah, gets rid of B. All right, which diagram shows a point P at an equal distance from points A, B, and C?
So how would you tell? Would it be A because every point would be every line is congruent to has a congruent, you know.
So if we want point P to be the same distance from the vertices, then that would be the point of concurrency. So if you look, we have here, down here, we have angle bisectors that are meeting. So we have an incenter. Here we have perpendicular bisectors. So we have a circumcenter. Below, it looks like we have,
And
what's that?
have some altitudes and
Yeah, altitudes. And then the next ones we have are medians. So the one that tells us that the byproduct of the three lines that are intersecting, that are concurrent, that gives us a point of concurrency that is equidistant from the vertices is A, the perpendicular bisectors. So that's going to be congruent to that, which is going to be congruent to that, which if I understand, I think that one actually might be entered wrong in the system. So I think I have to change that answer. I think I read that one wrong whenever I was putting these in. I think I have B as the correct option. So I'll override that myself. I'll go back through them. The answer should be A there. List the sides in order from shortest to longest.
so should it start with LK because
Yep. Shortest, longest,
and then JK would be the longest.
Correct. So you just eliminate those as we go. Again, just make sure it says shortest to longest.
Yeah.
And watch how the letters are flip-flopped too. That's okay if they're flip-flopped. So LK, we're crossing off here and here. Longest is JK, so we're down here. All right, in triangle ACE, point G is the centroid, and AG equals 52. What is AD?
Wouldn't 78 because 2/3 is 52, and then one more, and then plus another 26. 1/3 is 26. 2/3 is 52, and then add those two together, and you get 78.
Yeah, so we're looking through the whole thing. Remember, AG equals 2/3 of AD. So that's the way I think of it as well. If this is 2/3, if I cut that in half, I'll get 1/3. And then if I just do that 1/3 and multiply it by 3, I'll get my full segment of AD. So, or you can solve it algebraically. If AG is 52, think about what we just said. That's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to multiply this by 3/2, which means we're going to divide this by 2, and then we're going to multiply it by 3, which ends up being 78. Number 9, if the measure of angle DBC equals 87, what is the relationship between AD and CD? So what go ahead.
Would AD be longer because would longer because would angle DBA equal 93 because they're supplementary linear pairs?
Yeah, so remember, the theorem says that if this is a perpendicular bisector, then these are congruent. Since it's not perpendicular, that means DBC is only 87, which means this side it's leaning this way just a little bit. Right? We can't see it, but if I exaggerate it like that, then that left side's going to be longer than that right side. So while we don't have any specific numbers, we can get that idea that if this segment is leaning a little bit more to the right, it's going to extend AD further and shorten CD. So the answer is B.
Okay.
All right, find the value of X. We know that this mid segment is half the size of this parallel side. So that means if we were to double the mid segment, it should equal the parallel side.
Did you skip one? Did you do number 10?
Oh, did I skip one? I'll go back to it after this. So this is going to be 8x plus 4 equals 2x plus 16.
6 plus 16.
Subtract the 2x.
X equals 2.
Subtract the 4. So x equals 2. And you said I skipped one?
I think you skipped 10, but maybe you didn't. I wasn't paying attention. Hey, it's possible.
It is. Let's see. Let me zoom out. I did skip 10. You're right. All right. If DF bisects EDG, so that's basically what's saying right here. That means that this ray is not favoring one of the sides. It's right down the middle. That means this is equidistant to this.
So again, this is an angle bisector.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's creating this equation.
3n minus 3 equals 6. N equals 3. FG equals 4 minus 3, 9.
So now we have to figure out what FG is. So FG equals 4 times 3, which is 12, minus 3, which is 9. All right, we did 11. We have 12. Is it possible for a triangle to have sides with the given lengths?
No, because 5 plus 8 is not greater than 15.
Right, remember, I need to be able to add up any two sides to be greater than that third side. And if I do 5 plus 8, that's only 13. And that is not greater than 15. And then 13 says two sides of a triangle are 9 centimeters and 12. What is the range of possible lengths for the third side? So we have 9, 12, and then some unknown third side. So we can say 9 plus 12 has to be greater than x.
So 21.
So x has to be below 21. We have 9 plus x has to be greater than 12. So x has to be greater than 3.
Or x can be greater than negative 3.
Right, and then 12 plus x is greater than 9. That means x has to be greater than negative 3.
Why do you always do the x is greater? Do you only do positive numbers? Why don't we ever do the negative numbers?
Yeah, so the answer here is going to be 3 and 21. The reason for that is you have to be below 21.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to meet all three of these criteria. If you're above 3, you're definitely above negative 3. So this basically takes care of this. It's just more strict than this one.
Okay. And also, if you did -3, 9 would equal 9.
Correct. Yeah, if you actually use these numbers, then it would make them equal. And you don't want them to be equal. You want them to be larger.
Yeah.
And that's the last one, I believe, correct? Yep.
All right.
All right, then. I'll see you later.